Now we're going to take a look at the last problem that you were assigned, problem 10-26. Okay, so basically here they're attempting to do a flexible budget. So we are given some information here, some costs with some dollar amounts. Then we're told during March, the first month after we've got this data here, the machining department worked 18,000 machine hours and produced 9,000 units of product. The actual manufacturing overhead costs for March were follows, so we're given some numbers. Fixed costs had no budget variances. The department had originally been budgeted to work 20,000 machine hours during March. So we're just going to take a look at part 1 here, and in part 1 we are asked to prepare an overhead performance report for the machining department for the month of March. Include both variable and fixed costs in the report in separate sections and showing only the spending variance. So again, you put in your headings. Where budgeted machine hours were 20,000, actual machine hours were 18,000. So now we're going to fill in our report here, our performance report. So so we're given all of our costs, utilities, lubricants, machine setup, indirect labor, and we're given here the amount per machine hour. So 70 cents per machine hour, $1 per machine hour, 20 cents per machine hour, 60 cents per machine hour. This is what we're going to put up in our variable costs section. These numbers here belong down below. So lubricants, 8,000 per month is a fixed cost we're going to put down here. Indirect labor has a fixed cost of 120,000 per month. And depreciation, 32,000 per month. That goes down below in fixed costs. Just these per machine hour amounts belong up in our variable cost section. Then we need to do the spending variance. So we're going to compare our actual numbers to our flexible budget numbers. Our actual numbers are here. So utilities, 12,000. Lubricants, now it's a little catch in here. Lubricants 24,500, but we're told lubricants are $1 per machine hour plus $8,000 in fixed costs per month. So we're going to take that 8,000 out of this 24,500 because this is what the total cost was, which leaves the variable cost portion 16,500. The 8,000 is down here. Machine setup. There was nothing fixed in that, so 4,800. Indirect labor, 132,500, but there's 120,000 of that which was fixed down here, so the remainder, the 12,500, goes up here with our variable. Then we compare that to the flexible budget. So the flexible is we take the 18,000 machine hours multiplied by what the cost per machine hour should have been. So 18,000 times 70 cents, 18,000 times $1, and so on. It tells us fixed costs had no budget variances, so fixed costs are the same here under both. Then we have to calculate our spending variance. So our actual number was 12,000. The budget allowed for 12,600, so we used 600 less than budgeted, so it's favorable. Or again, 12,000 minus 12,600 leaves you a negative number. So negative means favorable, so 600 favorable. Lubricants, our actual number here was less than the number allowed by our flexible budget, so it's favorable. Machine setup, we used more. Actual hours were higher than our flexible budget by $1,200, so that's unfavorable. Indirect labor was higher, the actual amount, than the budgeted amount, so that's the difference, and it's unfavorable because we were higher. Again, if you take this number, subtract that number, you would get a positive number, which is unfavorable, whichever way you want to think about it. But our fixed costs, there is no variance because they were the same. They said there was no budget variances. So this is this one here. We just had to do the spending variance. That's all we need to do for this one. But you take your actuals compared to the budget. But just make sure to look for little things in the question, like here where some of the costs were fixed.